Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into this video. For those who are not acquainted with me, my name is Nancy Kasvosve, and I am the host of BsquaredC podcast. Quick intro to what BsquaredC is. We are a platform that is amplifying the stories of Black women in the corporate world through doing interviews. So we are now in season 3 of our podcast. We have interviewed now up to 30 incredible women. So if you are new to the platform, there is so much content and there's so much great stuff to dig into. But the hope is just that in creating this space, create a space for connection. We create a space for the stories of Black women and our experiences, and that we are able to inspire each other and give each other advice, but also inspire the next generation of Black women in the corporate world. So that's what we do. Now, you haven't heard from us for the last 2 months, and there's been a couple of things going on in the background, and I'm jumping on here to give you some life updates, but also some updates about the podcast. So we took a summer break, and the summer break was about us getting some rest and really kind of, just getting summer break, right? So I even went to Portugal. I had a fantastic time, and I've been trying to enjoy the summer as much as I can. And so has Akoshwa, who is also the co-host of this podcast. Yeah, the other thing that we actually did was we met in person for the first time. That is a story for another day. We'll tell you about it. But we did meet and actually spend time thinking about the podcast, reflecting on the first half of the year, how we're doing, and also how strategically we want to move forward. So the podcast updates that I am going to share with you have to do with that and have to do with that specifically. But for now, I want to share with you a life update that is actually very pertinent to this podcast and very much in line with the conversations that we have on here. And it's pertaining me. So since about a week ago, I started a new role. Yay! So your girl is, climbing up in the corporate ladder or whatever we want to call it. We stopped calling it the corporate ladder on this podcast. But in any case, though, I stepped into a new role in the same company that I work in. I work in health technology, deeply passionate about the work that I do. Now, in two ways in which this is relevant, right? To begin with, as this podcast is about career journeys, and the reason I started it was for me to find inspiration, advice, as well as a support system, really, for my career that would consist of other Black women. And honestly, you guys, I want to testify that the women who I've met through this podcast we've created amazing connections, right? And they've also been a huge part of my career since we started doing this work together. And they were a part of me taking this next step, right? They were there advising me, rooting for me, giving me advice, and I'm super grateful for it. So just to give a shout out to the guests who have come onto this podcast, who have become really dear and close friends to me, and also to just give you some proof that this is important, this works, right? And I am living proof of that. So I'm super grateful for that. The second reason why this is relevant is that it was part of our strategy session in thinking through how are we going to move forward with the podcast, and really acknowledging that I need time and mental space to kick off my new role and get into it and kind of set myself up for success in it, right? And as someone who does this work, both Akoshwa and I do this podcast next to our regular 9-to-5 jobs, full-time jobs. It does require us to rethink a couple of things. Now, the then changes that are coming your way is that, so first off, we will be releasing new episodes. So they are coming. We have some fire episodes that we've already recorded and can't wait to share those stories with you. The first change around it is that we used to release 2 episodes a month. One episode that was the interview, and the second one where Akoshwa and I would sit together and reflect on the themes from that episode, right? Now, to reduce the workload on both of us, we decided that we are, for the rest of the year, only going to be releasing the interview episodes. So you are only going to get a BsquaredC episode once a month, right? But we will no longer be doing the reflections monthly as we used to. So that is sort of the first change. Now, the second change that is really about, we still wanted to keep this reflection piece. We will be having the reflection episodes, but in a different format and also with different people on the other side of the interview table. We are actually going to start bringing in some incredible Black women professionals who work in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space, who are either consultants, who are coaches, executive coaches, and so much more. So those are the two ways in which we are switching things up a little bit on the podcast. And we are only going to be having the reflection episodes every 3 to 4 episodes. So you will see them on the end of the month. In this case, we will have a reflection for the end of the year, and super excited by the person that already has said yes to talking with us. So please stay tuned for what we will be bringing from that end of our plans. So that's all the updates that I have for you guys. So you are, again, first of all, only going to be hearing one episode a month from us for the rest of the year. We will do a fantastic reflection with an incredible Black woman DEI professional. So really, really looking forward to be doing that. And so thank you so much again. If you're someone who already has been with us for a while, thank you for listening to BsquaredC. It means a lot to us. Please subscribe to our LinkedIn page and to our Instagram as well as our YouTube channel. Go and check that out because you see some really interesting tidbits of advice and videos and very rich videos from our episodes. And then and definitely leave us a review wherever you are and leave us some comments. Helps us, it helps other people be able to find the podcast. And I, for one, am really looking forward to getting back onto the mic and doing our thing. And already the episodes that we are going to be releasing to you, super excited for you guys to hear the stories of these incredible women that we are meeting through this podcast. All right. Thanks, everybody. And thanks for listening, and looking forward to hearing your thoughts and also continuing to connect with each other through this platform.